Aventura police investigating a deadly hit and run that happened over the weekend. The victim, a decorated veteran.
Richard wasn't a drunk. He was aware of his surroundings.
At just 4 feet 10 inches, he was awarded the Silver Star and Bronze Star medals after serving 2 tours in Vietnam.
He was the littlest person in the United States military.
And I saw this little guy with all this equipment on him. It looked like a munchkin.
He wanted to be a war hero. He got to be one.
You know, Richard should have had better.
If he's homeless, it's because he chose to be.
Why are you doing this?
He was my friend.
1982, he's working undercover with the ATF. Parts of that case are still classified.
They wanted to control all the cocaine that came in and out of Fort Bragg.
Richard's case was so big that even 2020 News covered the story.
It's so hard to understand why our government seems to have been playing it loose and easy with some of the most lethal weapons in our military stockpile.
And I really didn't press him for answers because honestly, I didn't want the answers.
With narcotics always comes guns.
There's nothing worse than to leave somebody to die on the side of the road like this. If something hits your car, you jam on the brakes. That didn't happen. I feel that she should have seen him.
I never heard a grown man make that sound. It sounded like the guy was fighting for his life.
Why would a homeless guy travel to Iraq, Venezuela, Cambodia?
The biggest red flag to me is, how are you paying for this? Where's he getting the money?
Usually it involves merchandise of one kind or another.
Richard might have gone back to the dark side too. I mean, I don't know.
What could he have possibly done to have enemies like that?
I asked him one day, gotten any trouble lately? He said, no, but I'm looking for something.
He thought that the government was following him around.
He is the perfect covert operative. That's the type of guy that can hide in plain sight.
8 hours after I made that call, Richard was dead.
The more you look into this story, the weirder it gets.
You have to be that type of risk-taking individual to be Richard.
I don't know if he had short man syndrome or what, but he's one of those people that felt he had to be bigger than he was. He was really a hard ass.
Hi, my name's David Usick, and for the last 17 years I've worked as a police officer in Miami, and as a police officer we hear some pretty incredible stories and see some amazing things, but nothing prepared me for what this tiny little homeless man decided to tell me one day. Met Richard about 15 years ago on the streets and just struck up regular conversations, politics, news, jokes, and after 15 years he decided to finally tell me his life story. And couldn't believe it, honestly. I thought he was kind of stretching it. Smallest guy to serve in the military, Green Beret, Silver Star winner, Purple Hearts. It just seemed too incredible to be true. So I fact-checked him and made sure everything he told me was true, and it was. So I asked Richard, could we do a documentary on his life, and he agreed. And we were both really excited, and we'd meet every day, and we'd have lunch, and we'd talk about where were you this year and what did you do then, and we were really rolling well. And only a few weeks into it, I got the news that Richard was killed in a hit-and-run car accident. Richard's life is just filled with mysteries. Working undercover with the ATF, which was actually something he asked that we shouldn't go into. He was actually worried for my career and my personal safety. It's his life story, and he wasn't afraid, and I'm not going to be afraid. So wherever this investigation leads me is where I'm going to go. He was a sinner and a saint. He was a hellraiser, and he lived an incredible life, and that's what I want to know. I have so many questions now that I want answered. We're planning on driving across the country, interviewing numerous people, doing reenactments, and it's going to be a wild ride.